Last time you left us in Toulon harbour in the south of France. We had visited the super rich Principality of Monaco, suffered a horrible rolly night at anchor, but ultimately were rewarded with an awesome sail to Toulon. Join us now as the wind decides where we are heading, but the forecast is true to its word and we have another fabulous sail.
Whale! What? There, whale! Oh my god!
This is Intrepid Bear, a 40-foot sailboat off to explore the world with her crew Ian and Kate.
Come aboard and let's see what's out there.
So this is what we use, just quite handy for getting an idea of what our route's going to be like and what the wind's going to be like. You can put a line between 2 points and then you can set, when you're going to start, you can set your estimated speed, which we work on about 5 knots. And so you can see then what the weather will be doing at any point along the line. So as you can see, as we go along this line, we should have the wind will be quite close on the nose. What I can't tell at the moment if it'll be too close on the nose. Once you add in the apparent wind. We're aiming for Menorca, but if we have to go to Palma, you know, the wind pushes us out as far as Palma, we'll go there, and if it's really bad, as in really in the wrong direction, we'll just go to Barcelona. We're in no hurry. Barcelona on the mainland, so we can just go across there if we want to. We refueled the Bear, hoisted the dinghy and set off on passage, aiming for Menorca, but content to head wherever the wind decided.
Are you ready to set to start?
Slip away! €2.33 a litre. Crazy! It's a French Navy aircraft carrier over there. I think they've only got one, but then I might be out of date, and that does look like an old one. So I'm not sure if it's called the Foch or something like that, F-O-C-H. Could be totally making that up. It's just something that sticks in the back of my mind. But yeah, it seems to be under renovation, but that is a big aircraft carrier in the naval base at Toulon. Oh, lunch is coming. Hot dogs. And now we've left, we're just exited Toulon harbour, and lunch is arriving at the same time, so it's all going on. Hot dog, hot chef. As in physically, I mean, she's hot, but she's also hot.
Didn't think I'd be excited about overnight passages. It's been a long time. So yeah, I'm excited to spend 2 nights at sea and a day at sea, wherever we might end up. It may be a little bit of a beat, but it's no big swell. The sun is shining. I'm really looking forward to a passage. So it's got to be good.
As flat as you like out here, it's really nice in terms of flatness. Not a huge amount of wind. We're showing about 5 knots true wind at the moment. We're going to give it until 6 o'clock. Once we get to 6 o'clock, we'll bear away onto whatever sailing angle we can get and just start sailing, and we'll probably set it on wind pilot mode so that if the wind does carry on round, it will bring us back closer to where we want to go. We might end up on Majorca, or we could, even if it's too difficult to go upwind, we'll just turn and go across to Barcelona and wait there until there is a wind to get across to the Balearics. So it's really nice not to have any pressure or any necessity to be there. See how we go and see where the wind takes us, literally. So 20 to 5, bang on the course line, and the wind is now 30 degrees apparent off the starboard bow, sorry, port bow. That is almost a saleable angle, particularly in flat weather like this. It's very, very tight to the wind. Everything would be as tight as we could get it. So we're just going to keep going towards our 6 o'clock. If it gets to 35 degrees, then we'll go for it. If not, we'll keep going to our 6 o'clock limit, and then we'll just make whatever angle we can, see where we end up. Pleasant but uneventful so far, but it's nearly dinner time, so that's going to be something to do. Spag bowl, baby.
Yeah. What I prepared earlier.
That's the way to do it.
So weirdly, I've been feeling a bit odd when we've been on any sailing the last probably week, 10 days. I don't know, I feel like I've got a bit of a head cold. I don't feel unwell particularly, but when I go down below and we're on passage, even if it be really flat, I just feel a bit squishy. Hopefully it's just not a new... can you suddenly get seasick? Can you suddenly get more sensitive to emotion? I don't know. If you have, or you any ideas, then let me know, but yeah, that's why.
Okay, dinner done, washed up, packed up, got everything put away. We got 30 degrees apparent, 60 true. Ought to be able to sail that, or maybe just a bit off. So we'll put the sails up and see what we are sailing, and once we are sailing, we'll just go whichever way we can, as close to the course as we can. And
I'm going to put the sails up.
you're gonna what?
Put the sail up.
Okay, cool. Tighter. That should do. Good down. While we were motoring at 5 knots, the apparent wind was a bit further forward and the sails hadn't set, but Kate quite rightly said, take the power off and see what happens, because that'll bring the apparent wind back a bit. And sure enough, they're set perfectly now, about as tight as we can get it, but we are on course. And the wind is forecast to go to back, so to go anti-clockwise, which will come wider for us, which will be a better sailing angle. Currently doing 3 knots, 2-day ETA, not the end of the world if it actually takes us 2 days, but I think so far the forecast has done what it says. If it keeps doing what it says, we will speed up. You might be forgiven for thinking that this next bit was staged, but no. We were just filming some peaceful sailing from the bow. Whale! What? There, whale!
Oh my god! Oh, I know!
That is huge!
Oh my god! Just the most incredible. I feel quite emotional. It's just a huge whale. Just sat here enjoying the sun, and yeah, it's like 3 blows, and so it's like little dorsal fin, but the length of it, it was just huge. Never seen a whale that close. It's just wow. Incredible. Woohoo.
Now I know it could change and I don't want to tempt fate, but right now it couldn't be going much better. Nearly 5 knots in 7 knots of wind, and we're on course. It's upwind, but it's flat as you like. So that's the sun in bed. We've got the nav light on, the tricolour light at the top of the mast. When you're under sail, you can have a sailboat of this size can have a what they call a tricolour light. So it's red and it's just basically one bulb with 3 lenses, red and green at the front and white showing aft for the stern light. Reason for that is rather than 3 lights, which take a lot of power, just one light saves power because you're not generating any power at the night, but you're burning quite a lot of power. With the electronics and the fridges and everything is still going. But yeah, we just have a tricolour light, switch that on, dim the instruments, cruising at 4 knots. It's not fast, but it is lovely. But actually, I mean, for 7 knots of wind, 4 knots is pretty damn good. So cool with that. Pretty much awesome day, really. The forecast did what the forecast was supposed to do.
So starting to report in, it's 11:30. Having amazing sailing. It's slight forward of the beam, about 60 degrees apparent and 90 degrees true. Got 10 to 11 knots of true wind, so 12 knots apparent, and we're flying along at 5.96 knots. Most amazing stars out tonight and Milky Way. I hope we might have amazing sailing. And so far, yeah, it's turning out to be just that. So the little fishing boat I've avoided, picked him up on radar, it's not an AIS. A few other boats out and about, but just gliding along, having a great time.
AM. We went up to about 6 knots at one point, but we're back down to 4.5 now. That's fine. I guess it's about 9 o'clock on Wednesday morning. Just cruising along. There's like bioluminescent jellyfish in the water, shooting stars flashing across the sky, and when there's no shooting stars, there are so many stars. It's a really dark night. It's also really wet. There's actually, the decks are soaking wet, as if there's not seawater spray coming over them. It's just wet. There's so much moisture in the air. Someone said to me recently, don't you get lonely out there on a night watch? Looks really lonely. I love it. I just love it. It's just tranquil when the weather's like this. Intrepid Bear is doing her thing with a radar and her AIS, keeping an eye out, listening, watching for things. Kate's snoozing at the back end. Kind of, I'm not very good at deep and meaningful, but with the stars above and the water rushing by, just kind of feel connected to the universe. That's a bit cheesy, isn't it? But connected to the world, connected to everything. Yeah, but lonely, not explaining it very well, but lonely certainly isn't anything I feel. They're on the boat, all systems doing what they're supposed to do, cruising, not lonely, that's for sure. Sunrise 06:48. It's probably going to be a warm day.
Morning.
Good morning. I made you tea.
I heard.
The wind's gone back a bit now. I've set the sails as best I can, but the telltales are so wet they're just stuck to the sails, so no traffic. There's a few more waves which are knocking our speed down a little bit.
Across the dividing line into Spanish waters. It's complicated, it was about 12 miles offshore, etc. But anyway, we have crossed the line from French waters into Spanish.
AM. I came up to doing over 6 knots and leaning quite hard, so I've eased a few things. I've dropped the main sheet down, the traveller track of it, dropped the traveller down, tightened up the backstay. That allegedly flattens the sail, makes it less efficient or more efficient. So we're back on a more level keel. We're also slowed down, but at 6.5 knots we're arriving at 3 AM. At 5.5 we're arriving at 6 or 7 AM, so I'd rather arrive at 6 or 7 AM to be honest. And yeah, Kate's gone to sleep. She's not feeling brilliant. She's had a bit of a head cold, which is not helping her with being at sea. So yeah, she's gone to bed. I will have to sort my own lunch out. Maybe have a noodle sandwich. Sit down with my coffee. The wind dies back again, so we're now down to 4.7 knots. Still getting there, it's 8 o'clock in the morning, but I shall reverse some of the things that I did and pull the traveller back up a little bit, pull the main sheet back in a bit, so now we need the power that we can get from it, so we'll reverse it, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, got the speed back up to 5.0600 ETA. Carry on with my coffee. I remember it being easier last time. The noodles didn't go everywhere like this. It's good though. It's still good. So whilst I was having my noodle sandwich, the wind has gone back round so that we can sail on course. So I've put it back onto track mode. So now I have to go from watching where we're going. Still got to watch where we're going from a collision point of view, but the boat will follow the track. Now, if the wind changes, the sails will change, so I've got to go back to keeping an eye on the sail trim. So Kate's cooking dinner, but it's exactly the same as yesterday, so there's very little point filming it, is there? I could just put up exactly the same footage from yesterday. So I perhaps lied a bit. There is a difference for dinner tonight. There's no engine and we're leaning over, so it makes life a bit different, more interesting. A couple of things going on that's slowing our progress now. The wind has veered, and that means it's gone round in a clockwise direction, which means it's come more onto our nose, which means we can't sail directly down our path now. So we've had to bear away a little bit to maintain some speed and do about 3 or 2 knots. And also there's about a current about a knot of current against us. You can see the difference between the speed over the ground and the speed log. And however accurate the speed log may not be, there's definitely about a knot of current against us because it's been consistent throughout the speed range. So So this is one good example of when wind pilot mode is handy on the autopilot. I can't sail exactly where I want to go, so I've had to go to starboard to the right, so I'm not aiming exactly where I want to go. But what I've done is I've set the boat as close to the wind as she can efficiently sail and set her on wind pilot. And the forecast is for the wind to go back round. So she will now follow the wind and stay at that same angle to the wind. So if the wind does go back round, the boat will come back round. So another day has ended. So kind of a bit Groundhog Day really. I know we motored out yesterday, but the sailing we did yesterday is very similar to the sailing we did today. But the sun has gone to bed, so now it's time to sort out the night mode for the boat. And you all know how that goes. Navigation light on, radar on, instruments dimmed and put in night mode.
So it's my watch. I've had to bear away about 15 degrees now, which means we're going to the other end of Menorca currently. It's just picked up a lot and the wind's come further and further on the nose. It's sort of true wind. It's only about 12 knots, but that's translating to about 14 or 15. Managed to get the apparent wind back to 60. So we've got a hell of a lean on and motoring on at 6.7 knots. But I bear away much more when we'll be, I don't know, heading for mainland Spain, which will be a lot longer journey. It's not dangerous, it's just bouncy and noisy at night, a bit more towards Toulon, but if we end up at the end of Menorca, then fine. If we're looking at going past the other end of Menorca, hopefully Ian will be up by then and can help me make some decisions.
4:05. I've been on watch for a couple of hours. When I came on watch, the wind had veered and pushed Kate, so we couldn't get to Fornells, which is the sort of enclosed area at the top of Menorca that we were aiming for. Then the wind's just suddenly backed within the space of about half an hour. So now, although quite close hauled, we are aiming back for Fornells with about an hour and 3/4 to go. So we should get there just as daylight, as it gets nice and light. Busy in there, but lovely flat water, and hopefully we'll find some space.